What up? Coming to you again with some bipolar learning, education, whatever. Coming from the DSM-5. So I asked my friends and family members to give me three numbers, 1 through 7. Just pick three, like a lottery, right? And I got a lot of numbers to do enough series on it. So I want to do a thing called Mania series, Depressed series, and Mixed episode series. This one is Mania. So the first numbers I got were 462, and in the manic episode, that would be number 2, decreased need for sleep. Number 4, flight of ideas or subjective experience that thoughts are racing. And number 6, increase in goal-directed activity, either socially, at work, or school, or sexually, or psychomotor agitation, which is purposeless goal-directed activity. Wanted to talk about these today because, a lot of people with bipolar go through these, especially decreased need for sleep. So I'm going to read, again, DSM-5, what a manic episode is. A distinct period of abnormally and persistently elevated, expansive, or irritable mood. Remember that irritable can be in there as well. Or irritable mood, and abnormally and persistently increased goal activity or energy, lasting at least 1 week and present most of the day, nearly every day. That is part of the manic episode. And then, during the period of mood disturbance and increased energy or activity, 3 or more of the following symptoms, 4 if the mood is only irritable, are present to a significant degree and represent a noticeable change from usual behavior. This is the difference between bipolar and a normal person. We get this unusual, disturbed energy or elevation or irritability, and it's persistent. It's constantly going for a week or longer. It's not a day. It's not something that just happens for a few hours and then calms down. No, it's not how bipolar works. It goes on for a while. And so with those three numbers, again, decreased need for sleep, flight of ideas, and increased in goal-directed activity. Now, what I'm going to do is read from the diagnostic features of those things. All right. One of the most common features is decreased need for sleep. It is common. Every bipolar person has this. It's what we go through. One of the most common features is decreased need for sleep and is distinct from insomnia, in which the individual wants to sleep or feels the need to sleep but is unable. That is insomnia. The individual may sleep little, if at all, or may awaken several hours earlier than usual, feeling rested and full of energy. When the sleep disturbance is severe, the individual may go for days without sleep, yet not feel tired. Often, the decreased need for sleep heralds the onset of a manic episode. So we have to sleep. We have to get 8 hours. Not 6, not 5, not 4, not 7. I guess we can go with 7, but again, that can start this manic episode phase because you're not getting the proper sleep you want, which is it's bad. Like, so yes, we must get 8 hours of sleep. Often, the individual's thoughts race at a rate faster than they can be expressed through speech. Let me read that again because that was just so confusing. Often, the individual's thoughts race at a rate faster than they can be expressed through speech. Frequently, there is a flight of ideas evidenced by a nearly continuous flow of accelerated speech, with abrupt shifts from one topic to another. When flight of ideas is severe, speech may become disorganized, incoherent, and particularly distressful to the individual. Sometimes thoughts are experienced as so crowded that it is very often difficult to speak. Now that is terrible. I get those. I get the flight of ideas. It's a headache because it's constant. It's nonstop. I never answer any of my questions. I'm never satisfied because once I even answer one of my own questions, another thought pops in. And if I'm talking to someone, it feels like I just won't shut up, and I done brought up 10 different subjects for them to answer. They can't keep up. They're trying to figure out what's going on. That's usually a flight of ideas type thing, the racing thoughts type thing. It's a burden. It's really a burden. It's hard. Anyway, the increase in goal-directed activity often consists of excessive planning and participation in multiple activities, including sexual, occupational, political, or religious activities. Kanye. Increased sexual drive, fantasies, and behavior are often present. I struggle with this. It's called hypersexuality, and it's a problem. Individuals in a manic episode usually show increased sociability, e.g., renewing old acquaintances or calling or contacting friends or even strangers, without regard to the intrusive, domineering, and demanding nature of these interactions. They often display psychomotor agitation or restlessness, i.e., purposeless activity, by pacing or holding multiple conversations simultaneously. Some individuals write excessive letters, emails, text messages, and so forth on many different topics to friends, public figures, or the media. It's one of those, man. It's one of those that I struggle with, because I can be very intrusive and dismissive of what you have to say, and you have to hear what I have to say because I have to get it out of my head. If it doesn't get out of my head, then I'm gonna go crazy. If I sit there and stay quiet and think about it, where it's feeling too crowded, where I can't speak, then I'll shut down. I just won't talk at all. I'll just stay quiet and because if I say something, it's not gonna make sense to anyone. That's being aware of it. Being aware of all this is it sucks. Like, be truthful to you. But yeah, those are the three, man. Or did I read three? Yeah, those are the three that goes on at the same time for a week or longer. So can you imagine someone who hasn't slept, but they feel great, like they got 2 hours of sleep all week? All week they got, let's say, 4 hours of sleep, and they feel great, rested, energy, full of energy, not tired at all. And then they're coming at you with these goal-directed activities. Like, they got so many ideas for you today that you're all caught up in it too. You're like, oh, what? We can make this game and blah, 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 blah. And you get so caught up into it. And that's the dangers of mania, that you bring other people into it and they have no idea what's going on. And then once things fail, the person with bipolar gets upset and angry that things failed. And the other person's like, man, my bad. I'm sorry, bro. I know it should have worked out. You had high hopes and all that. But they weren't real goals. They weren't solidified. You know what I'm saying? They were just random ass ideas that you were having during this manic episode. And sometimes things don't work out, man. And then you have this just the goal-directed activity with the sex thing, man. It's bad. It's an urge. It's like you need to do something. You need to get these fantasies off or these thoughts, and it may cause you to masturbate excessively, watch a whole lot of porn, miss work or miss school, or anything just to get that desire off, or that need. Or you may go cheat on your spouse and do all these excessive behavior type things because we have no limitations when it comes to mania. And again, you can be irritable in mania and just be agitated and angry, and you're just full of energy, but you're angry. That's the consequences of mania. But those are those three, man. Just wanted to hit y'all up with that, give y'all a little education and experience some of the things that we go through, we experience. But yeah, that's about it, man. Thanks for listening. Check y'all later.